Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans. And before the break, we were talking with attorney Lawrence Mudget with Safer Law, talking about one of those real interesting cases where it appears, allegedly, that somebody was taken advantage of when it came to falling on hard times with their house. Again, if you want to get connected with Lawrence, if you're in a tough legal situation, tenant, landlord, or, even one of these weird hokey situations where somebody swooped in during a foreclosure, we'd love to get you connected with Lawrence, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. So I want to talk about a couple of the things, Jason and Lawrence, that I'm running into from the real estate side of things with, some of these companies that are taking advantage of people. And the first is there's companies. There's one that runs a lot of TV commercials, and there's other ones out there that basically their pitch is, hey, if you have a home that needs work and you want to sell it, but you don't have the money to do the work to the house before you sell it, call us. We'll come and fix your house up for you and then sell it for you so that you could sell it for top dollar. That sounds like a brilliant idea,
so what's
right?
The catch, Kyle?
The catch is you've got to use their contractors, much like the situation Lawrence just described, where there's, somebody comes in and says, hey, we'll get your loan all caught up for you, but sign the deed over to us, and then we'll sell it and split the profit. But they're using their own contractors, most likely, allegedly.
And the downside, the possible downside to using their contractors setting their price for the things. You're not getting a competitive price.
Yeah, exactly.
So if it's a $20,000 job, they might say, oh, it's $30,000, sign here, and you
so that's the thing is they will come in, they will fix your house up, and they will sell it, and very likely get top dollar. But you've got to use their contractors and you've got to use their realtors. Well, wouldn't you guess their contractors are probably the most expensive contractors in town, and of course their realtors are the most expensive realtors in town. What a coinky-dink, huh?
Right.
But people, they get focused on the $100,000 in profit they're going to get at the end of the day, and they don't.
Although they don't net sometimes nowhere
near what they probably could have if sometimes they would have been better off not even doing the work. Because I'm telling a lot of my clients right now, the market is so hot. There's such a shortage of homes for sale that buyers right now aren't as picky and choosy as they typically are because there's no other choices for them.
Right.
You can't be choosy when there's no choices.
And a lot of buyers want to do it their way.
Yeah.
Right. So as a buyer myself, I'm looking at a home. I go, well, I wouldn't have done this, done that. And when you could tell it was just recently done, like the last week or month, you're like, well, I don't want to buy this house because they just did this full facelift. I don't know what's behind it. And I wouldn't have done it this way.
Right.
I'd rather had it, before they did any work so that me and my team could have done it my way.
Totally. So, a particular example that we ran into, a buddy of mine actually just put a property in escrow out in Santee, and he's a flipper himself. And he went under contract with this property to buy it from a gentleman, and he's going to buy it, flip it, rehab it, and then sell it. And he said, hey, this renovation company actually had met with this guy shortly before I did, a few weeks before. And my guy, I asked him, well, what is it going to cost you to rehab it? He said, about $50,000. Well, guess how much the bid was going to be from this renovation company?
Right?
$90,000. And you're talking about, I think it was like a 1,300 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Santee. And it was going to cost $90,000 to rehab this house.
Well, when you're the only one bidding on it.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is going to wait till you sell your house to pay, and they're already in together and probably have a line of credit, and people are still getting paid, and things are happening. People, unfortunately, get taken advantage of, right? And we see that happen time and time again. So, again, one of the things that we just want to bring you here is to our listeners on Whissel Wednesdays, just there's things out there that happen. You want to seek professional advice. Kyle Whissel's now been selling real estate. How many years, Kyle?
17
years. Literally, we met when Kyle was 19 years old. He's been doing it a long time now. He has some of the best professionals come on every Wednesday night. Tonight, we've got Lawrence Mudget. Lawrence, what's the name of your...
Safer Law.
Safer Law.
Saferlaw.com.
And those are experts you want to look for, right? Kyle Whissel, one of the top real estate brokers, top real estate team in San Diego the last 3 years. And Lawrence How do I say your last name? I know I'm messing it up.
Mudget.
Mudget. There we go. That's better. What did I say? Mugget or something?
Of the tough
I was doing
mutters.
the mud, but Mudget. Got it.
Yeah. So that's one of the big things I'm seeing. So if you have a home that needs updating and you're thinking of selling, first off, you don't have to fix the house up, despite what you may think.
Yeah, get a couple opinions on that.
You need to put a bunch of money into it and that people aren't going to want to buy it because your kitchen's outdated and you got old floors and dingy carpet and all that. It's okay.
And even if your house is falling down, there may be buyers that want it that way as well.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there's people that, honestly, there's a lot of people that prefer, like you guys, Jason, you bought an older home.
We did everything.
Yeah, and you guys were very particular, wanted certain style, certain type of flooring, certain kitchen, cabinets, all that,
the wife
right?
in particular.
Yeah.
I'm still paying for that.
There's
Thanks,
a
Kyle.
lot of people that actually prefer a home that doesn't have all the updates. They actually want to come in and put their own touches on it. And again, like I said, the inventory or supply of homes for sale in San Diego is near the lowest levels I've ever seen in 17 years right now. And that means there's not a lot of choices for buyers. When there's not a lot of choices, they're much more willing to take a home that's outdated. Whereas in more of a buyer's market where buyers can be more choosy, then they're more picky and they want, the home with all the updates and all that. But right now, you don't need to make all those updates.
And here's another update we got to be careful of, right? This HERO program. We've talked about it in months past. We haven't talked about it real recently. But what is the HERO program? What's happening? And how's that impacting your sellers and or your buyers wanting to buy one that has this HERO tax or this HERO on it? Let's talk about that.
So before we move on, if you have a home that needs updating and you're thinking about putting it on the market and you're calling one of these renovation companies that says they're going to fix it up and sell it for you, call us first, because you don't need to do all of that 9 times out of 10. Maybe a few things here and there, but you don't need to go and spend $90,000 rehabbing a house. So if you are in that situation, listening to the show right now, reach out to us. We'll come out for free and we'll tell you exactly what your home is worth as it sits. And then we can also make some recommendations based on your budget of what you could do to get it ready for sale that's going to give you the highest return on investment.
Right.
Yeah, if you need to do anything. So call or text us on that, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. So the other one is this HERO program, which is the biggest crock ever. And I think they've stopped marketing it as HERO, and they're trying to change the name now and call it something else because the name has been tarnished so heavily. Anytime somebody calls us and says, oh, I've got a home to sell, I've got solar, because the majority of the HERO loans out there were put on homes to put solar on it. As soon as somebody says, oh, I've got solar, oh, great. Do you own it? Did you lease it? Did you finance it?
Oh, it was
or
nothing.
did you do a power purchase agreement? They're like, oh, I financed it. Great. Did you finance it with the HERO program by chance? Yeah, it was such a great deal.
Yeah, I didn't put no money in.
Oh, crap. Here we go. So, and it's not just for solar. That's the most common. But HERO stands for home energy renovation and then steal your money. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we've been running into a lot of people lately who are using HERO loans to do other things like roofs and windows and paint. We ran into a guy in Santee recently. He did a roof and windows on a 1,200 square foot home.
And they put like 20, 30,000.
Take a while. I mean, what
even higher,
windows and a roof on a 1,200 square foot
maybe
home?
15,000 tops?
34.
Yeah. See, so here's what I had last Friday night. I went to dinner. Happened to be the mayor of El Cajon, Bill Wells. Our wives know each other very well. We were at the same table, and we started talking. He says, how's real estate, Jason? What's going on? And I said, well, hey, it's going good. He goes, what do you think about the HERO program? I go, really? Bill, you don't know what about HERO? I said, here's what I've seen happen directly. And this is exactly your example, Kyle. The problem with the HERO program, I think, in theory, it sounds good. The problem is the contractors are pushing the loan program. So they go in and say, hey, for no money, I'll do all this work to your house. And just like the renovation example used just a few minutes ago, the $15,000 job now becomes $30,000, Bill Wells, the mayor of El Cajon. I go, that's a problem. And they're just saying sign here, and they're not getting competition involved. They really think when someone knocks on their door or calls, they're getting free money. And then what we see when people go to sell, now there's $15,000 worth of work on the house, although there's a $30,000 lien that you can pay in taxes over time. The seller doesn't want to pay off that $30,000 lien that they signed. They want the buyer to assume it. So you want to get the value that it put into the house, maybe $15,000, and you want them to assume this $30,000 loan. It makes no sense. And I know that's the problem you have with everyone who's done a hero.
Yeah, I mean, we had another one recently, 1,000 square foot house in Claremont. She did paint, windows, an HVAC system, and a roof. 1,000 square foot.
I mean, that
shouldn't be. Think that one should be?
That shouldn't be more than 12, 13 grand tops.
60.
No way. See,
$60,000
whatever
for
they
paint,
can sell.
windows, roof, and HVAC. It's crazy. And the reason that people are getting sucked into this stupid freaking program is that they'll give it to anybody. Mm-hmm. So just like you used to be able to get loans where
we saw one on $1 million house up Rancho Bernardo.
Yeah, they'll put it on anything because what they're doing is they're attaching it to the property taxes as opposed to attaching it to the borrower. And
that's why
therefore it's a very secure position for Hero because they're going to get paid off before the mortgage company is going to get paid off.
But because it's attached to the taxes, that's why the seller doesn't think they're responsible.
Yeah, the seller's like, oh, the buyer will just take it over.
I would love to just sit in a room and have one of these Hero guys sell you and I. Right? Wouldn't it be nice if they didn't know who we were?
It would turn into a physical fight because I would punch them right in the freaking mouth, Jason.
I would just want to know, what are they saying to get these clients to sign? I want to. What are they saying? I want, or maybe even videotape it.
Oh, it would go well on YouTube when I punch them in the mouth.
And what's interesting too about this program is just like this foreclosure aid group. How deceptive is the name? Like, we're your hero. We're going to come in and save you.
It gets billed as a government program. I have a guy who is an admiral in the Navy that got taken by this program because it was pitched to him as a government program. It's not a government program, but that's the way it's being pitched. And this guy, assumed, it's a government program.
Well, because it's put on taxes, the government signed off on it somehow.
The government signed off on allowing him to do this.
Let's talk about some of those things that get taken advantage of in our last segment. Again, you're listening to 1170 AM The Answer. This is Whissel Wednesday. We'll be right back.